engineering is an interesting field that combines artificial intelligence and human language understanding. In this field, professionals and researchers work to create prompts or instructions that effectively guide AI systems to produce the expected outcome. Whether it's fine-tuning language model, designing prompts for specific tasks, or optimizing human-machine communication, prompt engineering is crucial for leveraging the power of AI for a variety of applications. Imagine you're developing a virtual assistant application using a large language model such as GPT-3. The goal is to provide users with an engaging and helpful experience by designing effective prompts that generate informative and relevant responses from the model. So let's consider a scenario in which the virtual assistant assists users with the travel planning. So here's how prompt engineering plays a major part. So the scenario is you're planning a trip to Paris and want the virtual assistant to provide recommendations for activities, restaurants, and landmarks to visit during your stay. So let's say you're looking for a help with a traditional prompt and you ask for, what should I do in Paris? And the virtual assistant will assist you here, like, here are some recommendations for activities in Paris. And here's how the enhanced prompt through prompt engineering respond to your queries. So if you input a query that goes like, hey there, I'm super excited about my upcoming trip to Paris. So could you please recommend some must-visit places and activities for me? Then the virtual assistant will generate the response as something like this. So of course, Paris is an amazing city with so much to offer. So here are some must-visit places and activities, and it continues with the explanation about each place. I hope you got the idea of how enhanced prompt provides users with an engaging and helpful experience by designing effective prompts that generate informative and relevant responses from the model. So now let us understand what exactly is prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is a method used in natural language processing, that is NLP, and machine learning. It's all about crafting clear and precise instruction to interact with large language model like GPT-3 or BART. So these models can generate human-like responses based on the prompts they receive. Think of prompt engineering as giving direction to these models. By crafting specific and concise prompts, we guide them to produce the response we want. So to do this effectively, we need to understand the capabilities of the model and the problem we are trying to solve. Fine-tuning prompts allows researchers and developers to improve the performance and usability of LLMs for a variety of applications, including text generation, question answering, language translations, and others. Effective prompts engineering necessitates a thorough understanding of the underlying model's capabilities as well as the problem domain and desired result. Now, let's find out why prompt engineering matters for AI. So, prompt engineering is important in AI because it improves model performance, customization, and reliability. By creating clear and tailored prompts, developers can help AI models produce more accurate and relevant results, reduce biases, improve user experience, and address ethical concerns. In simple terms, prompt engineering ensures that AI systems produce useful and reliable results that meets the needs of users while adhering to ethical principles. So now let's consider an example in the context of text generation for generating product description. Assume you're using an AI model to create product description for an online store. So without prompt engineering, you may issue a generic prompt such as generate a product description for a smartphone. So without prompt engineering, you would get something like this. This smartphone has a high resolution display, powerful processor, and a long-lasting battery life. The given prompt is less effective because it lacks specificity. So it simply says generate a product description for a smartphone. So this may make it difficult to come up with an idea and write something engaging and informative. So having a good prompt can make a significant difference in your writing. They give you a clear idea of what you need to write about and keep you focused and organized, making it easier to generate ideas and express yourself. On the other hand, by using prompt engineering techniques, you can provide more specific instructions or constraints that will tailor the generated descriptions to the target audience or brand style. So with prompt engineering, if you input a query such as create a product descriptions for a budget-friendly smartphone perfect for the young professionals, highlights its affordable, sleek, and packed with a top-notch camera features, and the generated response would be something like this. Introducing our sleek and affordable smartphone designed for young professionals with its stylish design and advanced camera features, capturing life's moments and have never been easier, and it goes on giving its key features along with it. So through this example, we understood that prompt engineering enables the creation of a product description that is useful to the target audience and highlights specific features based on the instructions provided. So this shows how prompt engineering can improve the importance and effectiveness of AI-generated content for specific applications. To help AI models give accurate answers, it's important to create clear prompts. So here are some simple rules for generating effective prompts. First, make it clear. So clearly explain what you want the AI to do. Unclear prompts might confuse the AI and lead to wrong answers, so make sure that the prompt is clear. For example, the unclear prompts is something like write about cars. So where we have not mentioned which type of car or anything much in details. Whereas the clear prompt is write a description of a red convertible sports car. Next, give context. So provide enough information so that AI understands the task. So this helps it give accurate response that makes sense in the given situation. So for example, prompt without context is write a story. Prompt with context is write a story about a girl who discovers a magic book in her attic. Next, show examples. Use examples to show the AI what you are looking for. So this helps it understand the type of response you want. So for example, the prompt without example is describe a beach scene. So prompts with examples is describe a beach scene with the palm trees, crashing waves, and the people playing volleyball. Next is keep it short. So don't overload the AI with too much information. Short prompts help the AI focus and give quicker, more accurate responses. For example, long prompts are like this. Write a detailed essay discussing the impact of climate change on biodiversity and ecosystems in tropical rainforest. And short prompts look something like this. Write about climate change effects on rainforest. Next, avoid biases. So make sure your prompts are fair and don't include any unfair assumptions. So biased prompts can lead to biased answers, which isn't helpful. So for example, write about a woman who struggles with her weight. So unbiased prompts are write about a person overcoming challenges. Next, set limits. So tell the AI any rules or restrictions it needs to follow. This helps guide its response and ensures they meet your specific needs. For example, prompt without limits are write a story, and prompt with limits are write a story set in a haunted house with a maximum word count of 500 words. And I hope it's very clear. Next, moving on to some example of prompts for generating text using ChatGPT. For text generation tasks, prompts usually consist of a textual instructions or starting point that directs the model to produce coherent and relevant text. Prompts can be story prompts, questions, or incomplete sentences. Text generation prompts provide context and directions to the model, allowing it to generate human-like text responses. They influence the generated text tone, style, and context. So let's say the prompt is write a short story about a character who discovers a hidden treasure. So by providing a specific storyline and theme in the prompt, the model is guided to generate a coherent and engaging narrative centered around the discovery of a hidden treasure. So the picture illustrates how ChatGPT crafts stories with an engaging touch, making them more captivating and interesting for readers. Next, question answering. So prompt is, can you describe the common signs and symptoms of COVID-19 along with any precautions that can be taken to stay safe? And just like that, it can generate answers to all your questions in mere seconds. So by framing the prompt as a question, the model is directed to provide a concise answer regarding the symptoms of COVID-19, ensuring relevant and informative responses. Next, language translation. Translate the given English sentence, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, into Spanish while maintaining its original meaning. So by specifying the source and target language in the prompt, along with the input sentence, the model is instructed to perform a precise translation task, ensuring accurate language conversion. Next, code auto-completion. Using OpenAI Codex or ChatGPT, you can perform code auto-completion task. So here we go with ChatGPT. Code generation prompts are usually partial code snippets or descriptions of programming tasks. They specify the desired functionality or behavior that the model should show. Code generation prompts allow the model to generate code that satisfies specific programming requirements, such as implementing algorithms, defining functions, or solving coding problems. So the prompt is, complete the following Python function to calculate the factorial of a number. And here you have also added the function. So, by presenting an incomplete code snippet along with clear instructions, the model is directed to suggest appropriate code completion, helping developers write code more efficiently. Now moving on to the text-to-image generation. Image generation prompts specify the visual sense, objects, or concept that the model should generate. They may include textual descriptions, keywords, or images. So, image generation prompts allow the model on what visual content to generate. They influence the generated image's composition, style, and detail. For example, the prompt is, imagine a tree where the branches are made of stacks of books. So, can you paint me a picture of that? And for the given prompt, we got the image generated as something like this. An imaginative portrayal of a tree with branches composed of stacked books, each book representing a leaf and covers visible. And the next prompt is, picture a cloud in the sky that looks like a huge heart. Can you draw that for me? And here we go. These AI tools leverage prompt engineering techniques to generate text, perform language translation, code auto-completion, and text-to-image generation, demonstrating the versatility and power of prompt based on interactions with AI models. Next, why is machine learning useful in prompt engineering? Machine learning is very helpful in prompt engineering, especially in linguistic and language models, because it helps create better prompts and interactions by analyzing lots of data and finding patterns. So first, understanding language patterns. Machine learning algorithms can analyze large amounts of text to understand linguistic patterns like grammar, syntax, semantics, and context. So this understanding is critical for developing effective prompts that generate desired responses from language models. Next, generating relevant prompts. Machine learning models can suggest or generate prompts based on input data and user preferences. These prompts can be tailored to specific tasks, domains, or user requirements, making them more useful and efficient for guiding language models. Next, optimizing prompts design. Machine learning techniques can be used to optimize prompt design by comparing the performance of various prompts and selecting the one that produces the best result. This iterative process improves prompt engineering practices and the overall performance of language models. And the next is personalizing interactions. Machine learning enables personalized interaction by creating prompts to individuals' users' preferences, history, and context. This personalization increases user engagement and satisfaction with the language model interaction. Next, improving model performance. Machine learning algorithms can be used to fine-tune language models based on prompt response pairs, increasing their performance and accuracy over time. Language model can be trained on a variety of datasets and prompts to produce more relevant and contextually appropriate responses. And next, mitigating bias and misinformation. Machine learning techniques can help identify and mitigate preferences in prompt engineering by examining prompt responses pairs for potential biases or inaccuracies. Language models can produce more fair, inclusive, and reliable results by detecting and correcting for preferences. And I hope it is clear why machine learning is useful in prompt engineering.